Hey everyone, what's going on? Jeff here from Films at Home, and today I've got a massive collection update to do for you. It has been a while since I went through and showed you some of the new additions to my collection, so that's what we're going to do today. I've got tons of Blu-ray, 4K, special editions, limited editions. I've got Imprint Films, Arrow Video, Criterion Collection, some really cool horror movies, all kinds of stuff to show you. So there's a ton of stuff to talk through. I'll give you a little bit of background on each one of these. Some of these I bought, some of these came in for review. I'll let you guys know all about that stuff. And there's tons and tons of cool stuff that's been coming out on physical media. So you're going to want to stick around. There are a bunch of amazing recommendations and new titles that you may not have heard of that you can buy on Blu-ray or 4K, and I'm going to show them to you here in this video. If you enjoy physical media, Blu-ray, 4K, movie collecting, home theater reviews, any of that stuff, please subscribe to the channel, and also make sure to check out the new Films at Home podcast. All the links are down in the description for that. Appreciate the support, and now let's jump into some movies. So first off, I do want to show you what I grabbed and what I've been purchasing myself, and the first couple were from the Criterion Collection flash sale that happened back in March. First one is The Friends of Eddie Coyle. This stars Robert Mitchum. It's a Boston gangster movie, and I recently watched The Night of the Hunter for the first time, and I thought Robert Mitchum was an amazing actor who I didn't know enough about, so I grabbed that movie to see more of his stuff. And then I also grabbed Deep Cover, which is a Lawrence Fishburne sort of neo-noir LA crime 90s movie, and I heard great things about it, directed by Bill Duke, so I wanted to grab both of those. And then I also did get the Red Shoes 4K, which I have a full review of on my channel. Now, I also recently placed an order with Bull Moose. I traded in a bunch of stuff to Bull Moose. I love that they accept trade-ins of Blu-ray, DVD, 4K. So as I'm upgrading movies, some of them I'm selling, some of them I'm trading in. I traded in a bunch to Bull Moose, got about $150 in credit. So I placed a nice little order for myself. First one is Red Rocket from A24. Need to have every A24 movie in my collection, and I actually really like Simon Rex. And I love Sean Baker's work from the Florida Project, so had to check that one out. Also grabbed a couple horror movies. First one is High Tension. One of the most disturbing horror movies that I've ever seen. I haven't watched it in a long time, but it is a really messed up slasher psychological thriller. It's a crazy ride. It's actually a French movie, but I had to pick that up. Also got Censor from Vinegar Syndrome. I haven't watched this yet, but I loved the concept, and a lot of people told me I needed to buy it, so grabbed that from Bull Moose. And then I also got a couple others that I needed to fill my collection. Isle of Dogs to help fill out my Wes Anderson collection. I know it'll probably come to Criterion, but I just bought the Blu-ray. And then also got Spencer. I've heard great things about Kristen Stewart in this, and I really like the whole Princess Diana dynamic. I think it's very interesting what was going on there in the late 90s, so definitely had to pick this one up. And then I actually got a pretty cool freebie. My mom works for a local school system. Apparently they were cleaning out some offices, and somebody found a movie, put it in a free giveaway pile, and she grabbed it for me. So I've got Philomania with Steve Coogan and Judi Dench, which was nominated for a bunch of Oscars a few years back. Didn't have it in my collection, so hey, for free $99, that's a pretty good movie to pick up. So those are my recent purchases. I've also got a few things on pre-order, and I've got some orders in with Kino Lorber during their Kino Lorber March into April sale, which has some good deals. So I'm definitely still buying lots of media, but I do have tons of new review copies early, and some of these have already come out by this point, but I'm going to show you those here. So first one, this is from Shudder, another Shudder original. It's The Long Night. Looks like a pretty creepy sort of satanic woodland, sort of like The Ritual is the vibe I was getting. It stars Scout Taylor Compton, who was in the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. Also got Game 6 from Via Vision Entertainment over in Australia. It is about a journalist during Game 6 of the 1975 World Series. I'm a big Red Sox fan, so I can't wait to check that out. And then I got Spirit Walker from WellGo USA, which I've actually heard pretty good things about, and is supposed to be a pretty nice action movie, sort of in the same vein as like a maybe like a John Wick or Upgrade, sort of in that vein. A couple more here. One I got from Universal. I didn't even know was coming out, but they sent it. It's Redeeming Love on Blu-ray. Looks like a nice little romantic drama there. Have never heard of it. Another one from WellGo USA. It's 6:45 Vacation Die Repeat. It's actually a time loop horror movie, so think Groundhog Day with a lot more horror elements. And I also got another one from Blue Underground. We got Vigilante on 4K. Can't wait to check this out. I will have a review for it at some point. Blue Underground does some of the greatest 4K releases out there and some of the best transfers. So Vigilante is their new one. And then also got this from Paramount, Scream on 4K, which I've already reviewed on my channel. So if you want to see the full 4K review, go check out that video. It's a couple videos back. Now also from Paramount, I got the latest in their Paramount Presents line, which is Ordinary People. This stars Donald Sutherland, Mary Tyler Moore, and Timothy Hutton. Again, a new 4K scan overseen by Robert Redford. It was Robert Redford's directorial debut, so that's a pretty cool movie. Also got a new one from the Vestron video line, Dream a Little Dream, with Corey Feldman and Corey Haim. This was the sort of one of the big two Coreys movies that came out in the 80s. So I'm excited to check that out. Also have a new one from RLJE Entertainment. It's Silent Night with Keira Knightley and Annabelle Wallis, Lily Rose Depp, Matthew Good, Roman Griffin Davis. Pretty good cast, and it reminded me sort of like the movie The Invitation. It's basically a horror movie. It's a little creepy, and it takes place around Christmas dinner, which is very interesting. Then I got one from MVD Entertainment. It's Brian Loves You. This is a found footage movie that was made a while back and is now just sort of getting its first release wide on Blu-ray. So I watched a little bit of it. I need to finish it, but it was actually effectively creepy and with some pretty good found footage. Then from Universal, we got more romance. We got Marry Me with Owen Wilson and Jennifer Lawrence. This is actually not half bad if you're looking for that type of movie. Maybe something to watch with your wife, date night. It's not terrible for that. And then we got another one from Universal, and based on the cast, I'm surprised this didn't get more attention. It's got J.K. Simmons in it, but it's National Champions, and it's a movie about sort of these college athletes fighting for compensation, and that's sort of very relevant given all the news lately. And then I also got Sing 2 on Blu-ray from Universal, so that's the sequel to the first Sing movie. Pretty fun movie for kids, still lots of great music, lots of fun. A lot of kids are going to enjoy that one. And then from HD Movie Source, they sent me over Nightmare Alley on 4K. So I will be checking this out soon and doing a full 4K review, but shout out to HD Movie Source for sending this one my way. And now the last sort of mainstream movie before I start getting into some of the boutique titles from Arrow Video and Imprint Films that I've been sent is this beautiful Hunger Games 4K collection. The artwork on this is amazing. The steelbooks have some incredible artwork. This is catching fire. They all come in their own individual little sleeves, so there's cardboard in between each steelbook. Really, really nice artwork all the way around in a beautiful 4K set. So let me know if you guys want me to break this down and do a full video review. I did post an unboxing quickly on TikTok if you want to check it out, but this is the brand new 4K Steelbook collection, and it is a beauty. So if you love the Hunger Games, this is definitely one to check out. So now I'm going to jump into some Arrow Video titles, which are always very cool, and I much appreciate what they send me because I love my Arrow Video collection. And then we'll get into Imprint and what I got overseas from Australia in one of my new favorite labels, Imprint Films. First from Arrow, of course, I got the new RoboCop 4K. That was reviewed on my channel a few videos back, so go check that out if you want to see it. But I also have an American Werewolf in London on 4K. Have not had a chance to film the full 4K review for this, but it is coming very soon, so thank you for being patient on that one. Obviously, I need to watch a lot of movies and catch up, but this one's coming soon, and I got that from Arrow Video. Also got a really cool 80s slasher, which I think is sort of underrated, but I got Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge, love an 80s slasher movie, and then a newer movie which is getting a lot of good reviews, and I've heard good things about it, is The Stylist, which is basically about a killer hairdresser, a serial killer hairdresser. And then Arrow also sent me two beautiful box sets. First one is Twisting the Knife. It's 4 films by Claude Chabrol, and I probably said that wrong because you guys know I can't pronounce names, but it has new 4K scans of these movies, HD presentations here, not a 4K box set, but new scans. Has The Swindle, The Color of Lies, Nightcap, and The Flower of Evil. So I've heard that these movies are like kind of unsettling psychological thriller, almost like borderline horror, Hitchcock type stuff. So I'm actually really excited to check them out because I don't know much about this director or his movies, and I love exploring new stuff. So that's what Arrow Video does so great. And then another beautiful box set from Arrow. We got Rogue Cops and Racketeers, two crime thrillers by Enzo G. Castellari. This is the Big Racket and the Heroin Busters, classic 70s Italian crime movies. This director here, Castellari, he did Keoma and the Inglourious Bastards, obviously not the Tarantino one, but the one that sort of inspired that. And so it's these like classic crime cop thrillers when Italy was just cranking movies out in the 70s. There's a lot of crime stuff, a lot of detective stuff, and a lot of really funky horror and some really disturbing horror. But I'm really excited to dive more into the crime thrillers because I know the horror pretty well, but I haven't really dove into that other stuff so much. So this is a great box set to do that. So that was Arrow Video for the last couple months, and now for the last couple months, here is what came from Imprint Films. If you don't know Imprint Films yet, I'll leave a link in the description. They are a new Australian label, but they are putting out tons of movies on Blu-ray for the first time ever worldwide. Tons of stuff is coming there. They have Paramount titles, they have MGM, they have all these different studios. They're getting the rights to release their stuff. It's really incredible what their catalog has grown to. They are sort of limited edition, usually 2,000 copies, but as you'll see, if the movie sells well enough, they will put out a standard edition as well. So sort of like the Arrow Video model. There's a limited edition to start, and then you'll get a standard edition later if it warrants it. So they sent me a couple that I've been really wanting to get. First one is Fire in the Sky. Now, when I requested this, this was only available on Blu-ray in Australia. Now, Shout Factory has released a United States version that's coming out soon, but that didn't exist when I first requested it. And then I also got the Mothman Prophecies. Cannot wait to watch this again. It's been a long time since I saw it, and I love this movie. And then I also got Bad News Bears from them, which is available in the US now, but definitely not available in a nice package like this with the slipcase. So that Fire in the Sky was the standard edition since the limited edition sold out and sold so well, but the rest of these are all the limited editions. Like I said, they're really diving back deep into some of the 50s, 60s deep cuts from Paramount, MGM. Here's one here, Conquest of Space from Paramount Pictures. Some really cool old sci-fi movies. Then we got China Gate, which is sort of like a romantic war drama with, it actually stars Nat King Cole, Angie Dickinson, and Gene Barry. But this is from 1957, another movie that I think may have a US release, but is not very prominent. Now we get another one from Paramount, 1980. We got Steve McQueen as The Hunter, another one, very hard to find on Blu-ray. And then from 1969, I think this is also Paramount. I might be wrong on this. Nope, this is Columbia Pictures. We've got Marooned, which is a United States-Russian sort of space thriller, which is really cool. Another cool one from Paramount that they've picked up is The Out-of-Towners from 1970. Jack Lemmon, Sandy Dennis, The Out-of-Towners, new high-def presentation. And then they've also got The Return of the Pink Panther with Inspector Clouseau, played by, why am I blanking? Peter Sellers, of course. So they've had a few Pink Panther movies. Those are pretty cool. Like I said, these are deep cuts, but Imprint is doing a really good job. And then, Bad News Bears in Breaking Training, which was a sequel to the Bad News Bears. Not a lot of people know about this one. This would probably never get a Blu-ray release without Imprint. But I just love everything from the artwork, the slipcase, everything that they're doing is so cool. So I highly recommend their stuff, and it's becoming more widely available in the US. I see some local video stores even picking up copies, so I highly recommend them. And then another one here, last one before we get into some box sets from Imprint, is Johnny Got His Gun, Dalton Trumbo's only movie that he ever directed. Only available on Blu-ray from Imprint Films right now, so another one of those really cool exclusives that without Imprint, we may never have seen in HD. And now a few box sets before I sign off here. First one is a new one from Imprint. It's the Osterman Weekend. This is a 2-movie box set because it has both the theatrical cut and the director's cut Lots of special features on this, and this was the last film from Sam Peckinpah. So if you like his stuff, The Osterman Weekend was his last movie, very relevant in film history, but also a pretty cool movie. It's a nice little political Soviet spy thriller, a lot of fun to watch. Then Imprint also sent out this really nice Jerry Lewis box set with 2 movies. We've got The Big Mouth and we've got Hook, Line, and Sinker from 1967 and 1969. These are his Columbia Pictures movies. So this is called Jerry Lewis at Columbia, fittingly. Very cool box set, great artwork, and again, awesome to have these movies in HD. And then to round it out, we've got a 3 movie set, or I should say 2 movies and a television show of The Odd Couple. So this box set from Imprint, it has The Odd Couple and The Odd Couple 2, which are 30 years apart. Crazy that's how far apart those sequels were. But it also has The Odd Couple on TV from 1970 to 1975. It has the entire show. So if you're a fan of The Odd Couple, this has everything you'd ever want. Both movies and the TV show. Probably not super relevant for a lot of people nowadays, but if you're an older collector, that's a really cool release. And if you're a newer collector or younger, you should check out the movies. You know, Jack Lemmon, hilarious, and, you know, I love Walter Matthau, and I think he reminds me, he looks like my grandfather, so I always watch the stuff that he's in, and I think it's very, very funny. And these are a couple of, or at least the first one is a very classic comedy that I think everyone should watch. So that is it for the big collection update. We got Criterions, we got A24, we had Imprint, we had Arrow, we had lots of cool stuff from RLJE, Shudder, WellGo USA. There's just a ton of great stuff coming out on physical media. So I love to see all of these releases come out. I know it can get a little overwhelming, and it takes me a while to get to these videos or do reviews sometimes because there's so much coming out and I'm just a one-man show here. But I really appreciate all the people who send these to me, and it is certainly very cool to have these in my collection and be able to go back and explore some of these older movies, especially like those Italian crime thrillers from Arrow Video, the Peckinpah set from Imprint Films. Like I love all this stuff that's getting put out because I'm getting kind of tired of the modern movies, and I want to go back and explore some old stuff. There's 100 years of movies that, you know, I have to dive into. So it's just awesome to see these get nice HD, Blu-ray, and 4K releases. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this and you like some longer form content, make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube, but also go check out the podcast, the Films at Home podcast, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts, you can find it. And thank you to all who watched and listened to episode 1. Got a great response on that, and I think you guys will really enjoy the guests that I have lined up for episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and going forward. There's going to be some great conversations and a lot of fun on the podcast. So make sure you're tuned in and following for those. You're subscribed here on YouTube, and also make sure you follow me on social media. All the links will be down in the description. As always, just thank you for watching. Like the video, share the video, comment. Let me know what you guys picked up. That all helps grow the community, and I love interacting with this community and growing it. So thanks for your support. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and healthy out there, and I will talk to you all soon.